everything loaded up, so let's jump straight into it. Element Mystic versus Gen.G. So Lighthouse will kick us off here on Achilios. This is where we got to see Sparkle's Pharah truly excel in their first series versus Stormquake. Do we get it again? Let's find out as we get ready to fade those nameplates in.
That's right.
Please fade the nameplates.
Please fade the nameplates in.
I don't want to.
I hate it when they do it till it's like people are already shooting at each other when I see it for the first time. Like, well, we got to analyze this. We got to break this down for the people at home.
Seconds remaining. Here we go. We will flip over and well, it looks like they might not be running it here at the start. Sparkle will be over on to that Zarya.
Yeah, remember it was Monster Z-Bag who started last week, so we saw a little bit more Winston rather than the Rhine out of him. So that might have been part of the reason. But it's going to be Winston Mirrors here this time with Takoyaki.
Well, already pushing forward, and it's going to come up with that first kill as Sparkle goes down, but in exchange for the Zarya, Stalker as well will be taken out. Sparkle and Stalker is going to be fun.
Certainly. Really similar types of names here. Cap, potential for Gen.G right now. They're going to have to tag on to this Element Mystic.
Almost have it. Takoyaki's going to make his way in. Goes dangerously low, will get taken down. Fix me. Find the enemy Zen. Jump back forward here from Luke, rejoining with the rest of his squad. Push forward, Shubil has a corner in on a fixture, but cannot finish him off. Armor packs coming down. Shubil building up. Self-destruct going to be coming out. Cannot find a pick. Will get back into the mech, but now he's going to be on a slow, so he has to dip off the side of the map. So a very fast little turnaround here. Element Mystic will be able to delay that and now gain control.
Part of the reason why I gave Doa my top 6 for the Brigida role this previous week was because of his ability to take risks, to get extra charge, to build faster rallies, and that was the turning point. If you compare him to Agnes, he's, you know, not even at the 80% mark just yet. Doa was able to do a ton of damage there, get that extra healing off. They played around him. That gets him the first flip.
Yep, Luke trying to push his way in. Primal Rage going to be coming out. Trying to put things up and get Gen.G in onto that point. Graviton Surge invested. Sparkle locking them down. The first kill will be Shumil's mech. Burning right through that. Transcendence going to expire for Dents. Can't really keep the rest of the squad alive for a little bit longer, but it has to rely on his teammate Levels coming in with a sound barrier. Still push forward. Unique, however, finds the boop kill there onto Shubil. Gets rid of that baby diva, denying away the remech chance. As talking gets increasingly more difficult here for me.
Well, you know, Gen.G, they thought, if we don't win this fight now in the position we have, then we're absolutely going to, and this is a disaster, then we're absolutely going to have big issues keeping the ult economy in our favor. Had they, with the slight ult advantage they had, won that fight, they'd be feeling great right now. But because they, you know, didn't take the safe path, now they used a ton of ultimates, and they're down on control meter. Element Mystic with massive advantages here. Got the high ground controlled.
Grab, ready to go. Shubil almost getting knocked out of that mech. Takes a little bit more damage, and now we'll lose it. And that should be the abandon on the push here. Grab's going to be used by Stalker. All the same. Sparkle, however, his is going to be a lot more effective, as you can see.
Just feels like Gen.G is making snap decisions to commit to fights, which are bad situations. And sometimes having that ability to make a decision very quickly like that can actually turn a fight in your favor, but these are just a little bit off, unfortunately. Luke's going to go in here for the back tag to force the retreat from Element Mystic, so they don't get to control the choke, so I like this. He's got the Primal, so he's safe.
Yep, comes over to the side here. Primal Range now going to get popped, looking for some smack-offs here. Or not going to be able to find anything. Hunted going to be throwing down that self-destruct. No picks to be found yet. It's a nice little corner there for a moment on the Doha, but cannot burn him down. Sound barrier now in, catching all 6 members here for Element Mystic because they're at a 99%. Gen.G so very close to getting that flip. Shubil with the self-destruct, not going to find anything. Sound barriers out from Levels, keeps him alive. Doa's going to be taken down. Agnes dead as well in exchange on the Brigidas, but now Huntman going to be losing out on the mech. The grab comes in, locks him up, and it is going to be a slaughter. Element Mystic taking this fight home. 100-0 to kick things off on Lighthouse. They will get the first round on Achilios.
We saw just a few questionable hard engages from Gen.G. They played greedy. They wanted to get the fight won. They wanted to get the flip pre-50%. So they decided to take the fight where they had the slightest ult advantage rather than resetting, looking for a bigger ult advantage, what might have netted them 75 or 80 when the flip came through, of course, to their opponents, right? They wanted to minimize the control meter advantage that Element Mystic had instead of taking the safer fight. But that in itself puts you so far behind when it backfires. And, you know, it's very much a committed decision. You could feel the shot calling is absolutely there. But when the fight doesn't go well, and the follow-up fights similarly are taken after members are dead, you know, you end up with this crushing defeat.
Well, second round here on Well. Sparkle's still going to be over on to that Zarya. Difference here is going to be Luke with the Orisa, postured up behind that barrier, and Agnes over on to this McCree.
Yeah, so just trying to use this barrier to do some extra range damage.
Around the Rosie, Halt gets connection, but Dolan very smartly dashes away. Gets himself back onto solid ground. And Element Mystic are now going to be tracked inside here onto the point. Luke taken out. It's going to be falling as well. Agnes answers one back as Doha will get eliminated. But still looking like it's going to be that first cap coming through here for Element Mystic. Gen.G, will they change things up, or do they keep trying to run this with the Orisa?
Looks like they're going to keep it for now. You know, big plays here from Hanbin as well, protecting everyone against that McCree damage, getting those kills, the headshots there. Don't talk about headshots too much with D.Va, but he's able to land them all. Filling the shoes of Dako, remember, who is widely considered to be the best D.Va player in Korea. He's now, of course, moved into Atlanta Reign for Overwatch League Season 2, but you know, he's definitely living up to it in this map here. Stalker's going to swap over to the far. They're going to go Pharah, Sombra here. Very risky here to actually switch this late into a composition like this.
Rocket's going to be coming down, trying to get them behind that shield, but Takoyaki going to be blocking out the majority of these. Stalker just seemingly can't find a hit. Tries to get a boop into the well, going to be unable to do so.
Really good
layering
movement.
in some of this damage in, but cap starts coming through from Gen.G. Recontest is about to come out, looks for another boop. Again, not going to find the connection. Stalker gets tagged up, has to peel back to keep himself safe.
They're getting nothing
moving
from
upward.
This. In terms of ult charge, you know?
Yeah. Very slow and steady on that barrage build. Rally comes out. No, just going to be bumping everybody up.
Agnes doesn't even have half an EMP, just now getting that. Rally going to make it even tougher for these Rockets to start to chip away. Even the D-Matrix isn't even being forced to be used because they're just using the terrain to avoid the Rockets more than anything else, and this barrier.
Oh, almost had him. That would have been huge, but cannot quite get him. Transcendence going to be opened up like this. Drop down. Barrage going to be coming through, looking for a target, but he can't melt anybody. Will be able to survive. Bomb comes out, Hanbin. Messing that self-destruct to make it back into the mech. The Shatter coming down, and Unique gets the boop on the Luke, sending him down into the well. Comes on Surge. Not going to find anything. A little bit of a whiff there, it would seem, from Sparkle, but looks like Element Mystic still going to be winning the fight all the same as they hit 95%. Levels hovering above here with this pharmacy still intact, but they know that if they hit the ground, they're probably going to die. It's like that, levels will get taken out. Hanbin following up Stalker. Now Luke going to be gone. OT ticking away. Agnes just now getting the EMP tags back onto the point. Drops back down, but has nowhere left to go. And one after the other as they stream forward, Gen.G will be eliminated, and Element Mystic will kick things off back-to-back 100-0 here on Achilios.
The narrative continues today, and I think for this week, more than last week, that the teams that try to break the standard, try to run something a little bit different, are having a lot of issues. And with Hanbin shutting down the damage coming out there from the McCree that Gen.G was running, that failed. They lost control of the map there. They tried then to do something a little bit different as well, because they knew they were always going to be behind the tank ultimates, right? The support ultimates in that situation. So they thought, well, maybe we'll circumvent them with some good Pharah play. The ideas there from Stalker were really good. Like, he was always trying to concussive Takoyaki into the well, and he was doing a good job of setting those up. But Element Mystic just played so safe against it. They were always using the terrain, and they were just constantly rotating around the map in a circle, so they could never have a positional advantage. Stalker could never have a positional advantage on them. And because they used the terrain rather than the Matrix from Hanbin, when the commitment to the fight happened, he had the Matrix available. It was not on cooldown. MMA here talking to his players.
I thought they had a turtleneck jersey for a second, but I just realized he's wearing the jersey over it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's interesting. I've never seen that in esports before.
Not quite, but he's trying to make it look like a thing.
I mean, it'd be good for your winter line if you're trying to sell some stuff.
Sure, it's pretty cold.
It's starting to get a little bit chilly here.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely. Usually peaks around like late January, early February is where it gets like its most cold in my experience.
I mean, last year was like the coldest that we had on record, I think.
Yeah, for a while, and a long while.
Yeah, and then we also had the hottest summer.
Yeah.
So things are just wonky over here at the moment as far as the weather is concerned. But what's not wonky is Element Mystic's play. Very, very strong. They kick things off. And, I mean, if this is going to be the precedent set for the remainder of this series, maybe we just have back-to-back 4-0s coming in.
I mean, I think we shouldn't judge this first map too early just yet. Gen.G messed around with a few different things there. The Pharah in particular there at the end just did not find any success. It was well executed. And the way that Stalker was moving around the map was intelligent, but Element Mystic was just too good, so it didn't work. It's not like they came in and fell on their faces with the strategy. You know what I mean? Like, the defending play was so good from Element Mystic that it's hard to blame Gen.G because they also had a late swap to the Pharah. They wanted to do that instead of just trying to match ult charge and being behind. On the first point, we also saw some good decision-making in terms of like how quick they were able to make calls, which I think was a little bit lacking last week, but they were the wrong calls oftentimes. I think that if they could fall back to a stronger hold on A, for example, if they get the momentum going into map 2, and can play a map that's a little bit less snowbally than Control, like a map type that's a little bit less snowbally, then I think if they lose that as hard as they just lost Control, then we could say it looks like it's going to be a double 4-0. But I don't want to say just yet. I want to give them another chance here.
So where do we think, as we get ready to move into hybrid, Gen.G, where are they going to be taking us? They got to play on Nimbani in their first series. Yeah. That was picked by Kongdu Panthera, however, and Kongdu did come up with a victory. Do we expect them to stray away from that or try to get away from this GOAT style, which Nimbani, especially Point A, is not really known for?
Sure. I guess based on what we saw on Point A here and also the latter parts of that previous series against Kongdu Panthera, I would expect the Nimbani pick just because they're not matching up in these GOATs versus GOATs very well. They've also shown us a little bit of Pharah today so far. Pharah very viable on Nimbani A. So that's kind of where I'm leaning in terms of map picks. But if they just want to go back to the standard 3-3 and show the world that that was a bit of a fluke there, what we saw last week, and obviously there were some communication issues and some emotions were high, some tensions were high down there on the stage. If they want to just go back and say, listen, like it looks like we're bad at 3-3, but it was circumstantial. Like I want to prove that we can actually go head-to-head with EM here. Then that's when you see the Hollywood pick come out. We saw already like the attempt from O2 team to try to run non-3-3 on Hollywood. And it worked with middling success. Great on A, bad on the streets phase. So it's possible that they still change it up on Hollywood, but I wouldn't expect to see that. I think they'd rather go to Nimbani, try to circumvent it in a more direct way, if that makes sense.
Well, we're about to find out here. No player swap is going to be coming through. Alpha, really the only one on the table since XZ is still not in the cards here at the moment for Element Mystic. Gen.G, let's see what the decision is in the end. As we go and take a look at our second map of the series, and it's going to be Hollywood, so maybe actually going to be trying to match that.
Yeah. It's very popular right now to try to find the answer to GOATs, because if you become the first team who has a reliable answer to 3-3 and has, we have some people that have found the Pharah Sombra is really good, the Doomfist Sombra is really good, etc. There are, and the Hanzo attack that we saw earlier can be very strong, but if you're the one who perfects it and is able to consistently beat 3-3, then suddenly you win the tournament, right? So a lot of teams are trying to find a different way to play the game right now. Let's see if Gen.G continues that trend here.
All right, well, loading up, second map here of the series. Element Mystic leading 1-0. Gen.G, can they tie us up and give us a series? Or will Element Mystic just go ahead and move up the match points?
These are the big questions. Yeah. Indeed. Well, we already know what Element Mystic is running here. Don't need the nameplates at the top to see how this one stacks out. Sign says victory, by the way, the Diva spray there. That is what Humbin is trying to allude to the observers, that they are going to win this map.
Get to see that at the end of every single map, unless we have a draw. I forget what draw is in Korean, but I recognize it.
I think it's Mubu, I believe, for this case.
Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
But here we go, Gen.G on the attack, looking for that Pharah Hanzo that we just saw in our first series.
Yep, so
But Element is charging forward.
Yeah, they're going to have to back away, though, because the angle is good this time for Stalker. D-Matrix on cooldown for a moment there. That was actually scary, and Stalker actually gets a ton of ult charge from this.
Rockets coming down. Stalker getting tagged up just a little bit here. Big damage coming in, and Pixme is able to take him right out of the sky. They're going in for the res. Levels able to get that. A fire strike from Takoyaki. Not going to be able to get a connection there onto that Mercy and deny it away. Pixme, though, he's straight back onto the case. He's trying to get rid of him again.
Really great plays by Pixme. I mean, he had the answer there on Achilios as well. It's funny because in GOATs, like when you run against afar, you're the most reliable person who can do that damage from afar. So it's a new skill set for Zenyatta. This existed before, but it's now so important.
Into the cafe at the moment. Wrap around the back, trying to find that shield bash done. Not going to be able to get it. Armor pack is going to be offered up. Lean onto the point. Gen.G is going to be spamming away. The Dragon Strike will roll through.
But no follow-up barrage this time, different from O2 earlier.
Yeah, they didn't filter out the way that they might have liked, and the barrage wasn't ready anyway. Shubil knocked out of the mech. Sparkle able to take that away. 20% away now from that Graviton Surge. Stalker just going to be hanging on to the barrage for now, waiting for an opportunity. Pixme now going to be gone. That's a Transcendence out of the fight. This could be the opening here for them, perhaps. Hot throws down that rally, armoring up those around him. Desperately trying to keep Hanbin in that mech. I think the armor pack's coming through. Will do just that. Takoyaki coming up with a double kill. Unique follows forward. Gets the kill there onto Luke. Stalker has to get the heck out of Dodge.
Gen.G just did not pull the trigger. It's really reminiscent of the end of their series against Kongdu Panthero. They had the setup there, they had the positional advantage. Luke did not commit in, he stayed on the high ground. Pretty sure he had jump available, but he stayed there. Perhaps he's overthinking things now that he overextended a lot last week. Now he's trying to play safe, but that means he didn't commit when they needed him to commit to that fight.
We'll jump back in, coming through from Luke up into the cafe. Primal Rage still going to be held here for the moment. Agnes gets rid of Pixme. Now Hanbin going to be gone. And down by the Gooba Stomp. Primal Rage up. Stalker just wrapping around, looking for Sparkle.
Ooh, risky play there.
Tags him up, not going to be able to get the kill. Sound barrier comes through. Sparkle not going to be a recipient. The barrage gets dropped in. 2 coming down. Stalker gets that double kill. Unique able to pick one up. First tick now going to be gained. Sparkle zoned all the way back over towards the spawn. The rest going to be coming back in. Dents put into the mix.
They've got the Diva up here now. Sparkle does go down, but they bought a lot of time with this.
Agnes does zone him out. Getting rid of that pesky McCree. One final push. Seems like this is going to be the play here. Hanbin goes forward, leading the charge. Takoyaki rejoining. Bubble coming down. Stalker's here onto the Doom Fist. Goes low, and Hanbin just completely melts him down. Shubil, however, with that self-destruct.
They're committing.
Takoyaki. Yeah, they're trying to make this happen here.
The rally's out too.
Uses the Transcendence. 56 seconds remaining on the clock. Gen.G being held back. Valkyrie gonna get popped. Levels scripts his way into the back of the point. Tries to exit here, and will just get taken down.
As much as I want to sing Mystic's praises, the chase, the runaround on Sparkle, he lived for so long and he drew so much aggro away. They needed to collapse on the point, get those final kills and get the final tick. Sparkle bought enough time for the respawn of Hanbin. He got onto the point, and then they had the support ultimates to buy time. They've got, you know, now another Diva Bomb to buy further time. Gen.G has no grab. They're just swapping, hoping for the best.
Hanbin can zone them back with the self-destructor in to the back room. Stalker going to get taken down. The Transcendence not going to be able to keep him alive. Delaying a grab even further. Probably not going to be finding one here. Now Luke going to be taken out. Element Mystic. Have they actually pulled off this full hold? Get the jump in here onto Dunce. They take him out. Only 3 members alive. Now Agnes gone. Shubil's out of the mech. No one can tag it. Element Mystic. So very close to allowing that point A to go over with about a minute remaining, but they come back in one after the other. Runaway-esque, you know, that we remember from Nimbani from their first series versus Geekstar. They hold it off, they get the full hold in the end. They give up, I want to say about 90% of it, but they set themselves up for a very nice 2-0 start in this series.
Gen.G is just, they are going to have to be communicating better, because when your tank line is chasing the supports in the back while your Pharah is trying to assassinate a McCree who's then run behind the spawn, the tanks then try to collapse on Sparkle. The shot calling is delayed, the targeting is not correct. Sparkle is not really that much of a threat if he survives with 20 health. He could be killed by anything at that moment. Sure, I mean, he's a very accurate, you know, McCree player, not what he's known for playing, but we saw him do quite a bit of damage there. but just not being able to make the right calls and make the right target selection there cost them big. When they did have the advantage, they did get those opening kills, they did get Sparkle out of position. And it was what came next that fell apart. And you know, I think that's just it's just gonna have to come with experience. You know, it's been a week since last week when we saw similar problems, and they look better already, I will say, but it just feels bad when you, and everyone on the team knows it too, like, oh my god, we won that fight. How did they hold that? Like, how did that happen? We are gonna see this tricky Roadhog defense here. I mean, they need a full hold, so they're gonna try something different. Can be some opening picks with that. It's
not the usual variant that we see, though, where it's a solo support. So they're going for a little bit more durability here, but less damage overall. So not going to have, you know, a Junkrat in the mix here. But going to be coming down, gets the hit there on the Unique, but Zarya Bubble comes in, keeps him alive. Stalker taking a breather, trying to escape, gets top back up. Will be okay on the retreat there. Been steadily going to be healed back up to his 91.5% gained by Gen.G. Element Mystic already more than halfway there. 77% moving up. That's going to be taken down. Shubel's out of the mech, and they'll just win it straight up.
They win it straight up. Man. Very much a... the second the halt combo came through, right? You see the halt, then the hook. Doesn't get the right target. And everyone committed their abilities in that 1 second, hoping they were going to get a better target. And Element Mystic pushes the go button there. All your abilities are on cooldown. You mean you committed everything to one tank and he didn't die? We're going to smash you now. Everyone has to retreat for Gen.G esports. They got that point with 1 kill and a D-mech.
Yep.
That's all. I mean, they just totally controlled it. Gen.G had to leave the point. Fighting was going to be futile. They were hoping perhaps Element Mystic would overextend or make a mistake. But they put all of their eggs in the hook-halt combo. Didn't get the pick they were looking for, and Element Mystic just ran them over. The 3-3 that meta that we have now is so punishing because it does so much damage so quickly, it's got so much healing, that if you mess like one thing up, they speed boost in and they just steamroll you over. So
it's it's interesting to see. Like you said, it wasn't the variant that we normally see where it's solo support, but it was also the positioning of the Roadhog was completely different. He wasn't playing up onto the opposing high ground across from the cafe, you know, where you go up the stairwell. Wasn't doing that where you split attention from the attacking team. Just played straight up in front with the Orisa. So when you hook the Lucio, Sparkle's already looking ahead at you.
Yeah.
So getting the bubble on Lucio to
easy.
save his life is so easy. It's basically not even a reaction. He just hits E,
that's exactly
and it
where
just
he's
hands
looking,
it over.
yeah.
Whereas if you hook the Lucio from the side, now Sparkle's got to basically 180 or turn 90 degrees at least to his left, look up, and then bubble the Lucio. So you're not even giving yourself as much of an opportunity to get that assassination on a crucial member of the attacking team.
You're also putting yourself at risk of grabbing a tank in the front line as well, because that's going to be the way the approach happens, right? And the fact they were able to get a Lucio at all, I didn't even realize initially it was the Lucio they got, is pretty lucky, all things considered. I mean, obviously when the halt comes through, you know, you have multiple targets that are all kind of in the same spot, so it's tough. You can make your choice. You can aim the hook as best as you can and look for that target, which is exactly what he did. But I feel like we're seeing these teams that are the underdogs in this tournament for week 1 and week 2 just try to, like, steal wins, like I was saying yesterday, away rather than actually trying to meet them, like, head on and try to defeat them. And I understand that sometimes when you're the underdog, you feel like that's the way you have to do it because you're like, well, there's better than me, it's straight up. So, like, how can I beat them in that way? But it does lead to a lot of one-sided matches like this where probably the fans at home are thinking, oh, God, Gen.G is awful. But that's not really true. They're just taking risks with stuff like this. And when you kind of go all in on a decision like this, especially when there's only one tick that an opponent's team needs to win, like, it makes you look really bad from the outside looking in, but it's not really that true, if that makes sense, you know? So it feels bad, though.
I think a revised strategy and the different positioning could have maybe led to a little bit more success there rather than the, you know, pop on the mech and then 1-kill sweep. But either way, that's Element Mystic up 2-0 here in the series. Might just have a very fast one. It's been, you know, about 20 minutes since we kicked off, and we had the tech issue. So very fast. We're going to go to a quick break, guys. When we come back, we'll have the rest of it and see if Gen.G can bounce back.